Tackle Junkies, what's going on, everyone? Real appreciate you guys and gals clicking on the video. Big shout out to Carl's for sponsoring today's video, and big shout out to all you guys and gals for their continued support. I truly appreciate it. In today's video, we're going to discuss my top 3 hooks for the Texas rig. All right, let's start with the Grip Pin Max here, which is a straight shank flipping hook. Probably my least used hook. I don't really use the straight shank that much. Again, we're talking about the Mustad Grip Pin Max. We're mainly talking about the style, but if you guys want to pick up some Mustad hooks, you guys can pick them up over there at Carl's or directly from Mustad. Discount codes are below in the description. Again, we're mainly talking about the style of hook, which is a straight shank flipping hook. And I know some guys that use this hook almost exclusively. I have a bit more confidence in the EWG, but for me, it's the hook that I use when I'm in and around cover. The style of hook comes in and out of cover really well, and with the hook point being offset from the eye, the hookup ratio is really good, especially when you need to react fast. So in and out of cover, reacting fast, I like the straight shank flipping hook. Okay. From there, we're going to move on to a hook that has a pretty bad rap because the hookup ratio can be pretty low. And we're talking about the EWG. Okay, and the reason the hookup ratio can be low with this hook is because the hook point is in line with the eye. Okay, so let's say you're fishing a 1/2 ounce Texas rig. She's got that weight in her mouth. You feel the bite and you crack her, like we all love to do, right? Well, when the weight's in her mouth, if you blow her mouth open, since the hook point is in line with the eye, there's no offset there to grab her lip or grab any meat on the way out, and you lost that fish. That's kind of where this hook gets a bad rap of missing a lot of fish, is because that hook point is in line there. But from what I found out over the years, I think it's really how we set the hook, which is going to determine if you're going to land that fish or not. So instead of just cracking them, right, I do better feeling the bite, reeling down on them, you know, get rid of that slack there, and kind of like pulling and sweeping away instead of just cracking them. When you crack them, you risk losing that fish versus just kind of pulling. And I think what that does, it just gives her lip, you know, just a chance to kind of sink down in that hook before it comes out of her mouth. So don't just jack them. Kind of just, like I said, reel down on them, get rid of that slack there. It's kind of pull and sweep away. Don't crack them with an EWG, and I believe you'll land more fish. At least it's worked better for me over the years versus just trying to rip their face off. Just kind of pull away, sweep away from them, and you'll land more fish with the EWG. But you have to use this style of hook with thicker baits, like tubes, creature baits, you know, things like that. You have to have a place for that plastic to go. So with an EWG here, that plastic can compress down and there's room to, you know, grab their lip or some meat or wherever. You just have to have a place for that plastic to go. So you need an EWG style hook when you're using thicker baits. That's pretty much the short of it. If I got a thicker bait, I'm reaching for the EWG. Okay, that's thicker baits. So thinner baits, I'm going to go to the round bend offset. Now, what's kind of special about this one in particular from Mustad here, it has a bigger gap than your standard round bend offset. Bigger gap, longer shank, longer neck. So you can get away with using this particular round bend offset with, you know, somewhat thicker baits. Obviously, they're really thick like a tube, go to EWG, but if they're kind of like there in the middle, you can get away with a round bend offset. You just got to have enough gap there for the plastic to get out of the way and still have enough bite to hook the fish. Great hookup ratio here, again, just because the hook point is not in line with the eye. It's offset there. But again, the only downfall to this hook, it doesn't have a huge gap like the EWG, so you can't really use it with really thick baits. So for lizards, worms, like trick worms, Senkos, ribbon tails, this right here is my go-to hook. So to keep it short and sweet, round bend offset for my thinner baits, EWG for my thicker baits, and if I'm in and around cover and I got to react fast, I do like that straight shank flipping hook. Now let's talk rod, reel, line. For the most part, I like a 7-foot medium heavy fast action rod. I will go to like a 7.3, 7.4 if I need a bit more casting distance or leverage, but I do like a shorter rod for the most part because I'm more accurate with it. Medium, heavy, fast, my go-to power in action. If you're around big bass, thicker cover, using heavier gauge wired hooks, you may want to step it up to a heavy, but for me, medium, heavy, fast gets it done. This is the Kistler Helium, super nice rod here from Kistler, very light, comfortable, sensitive. If you're looking for a dedicated rod to work the bottom, I would definitely check this one out. A bit on the pricey side, but you get what you pay for. Great option here from Kistler. Reel, Shimano Metanium, one of my favorites to date, in a 7.1. Typically I like a 6-speed reel. I feel they're more versatile, got a lot of power, but if I have a dedicated combo to work the bottom and I'm using the rod to work the bait, I do like a bit faster reel to pick up the slack. As far as the line goes, this is Seaguar Brazex, 15 pound. I usually use 15 to 17 pound, but this is a Brazex here. It's got a bit less stretch compared to Invisex, and of course it does have more abrasion resistance. A great line here to work the bottom, but Invisex is a great choice as well. Well guys, that should wrap it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Leave some comments down below. Let me know your go-to hook, maybe your rod length, power in action. If you guys liked the video, be sure to smash the thumbs up. Love you guys. We will see you guys on the next one.